garage getting ready for my show. Yesterday started. Okay. Today, I don't know, it's mint julep day. What is your favorite drinky drink? What are you going to be drinking this weekend? I am getting ready for the Midwest Volkswagen Jamboree that's going on today. It started yesterday. It's going on today. Tomorrow is the big day. They're having the car show, the vendor spots, the raffle drawings, whatever. Make sure you're bringing on parachute at the food pantry. Um, let me see. I had a couple people, women, tell me. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know how much that you saw. I don't know why our internet's doing that. It's crappy internet. It's rural internet. It's crappy. Um, so he was sexually harassing me. I reported it. Oh, okay. Well, I told the curator that he had. After I found out he worked there, I said, I've had problems with him in the past. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. Because I've been avoiding him. I don't know if. Oh, there's one of the neighbor's cats, a black cat down there. I don't know if there'll be a problem. It might not be because I yelled at him everything. He still keeps doing it, but I haven't seen him in a couple of years. Maybe he's matured. Maybe he's learned. Who knows? She says, well, if you have any problems, report it. I says, okay. I says, but I am going to try and avoid him. She says, okay. Sure enough, I ended up working with him a couple times and to help him out doing his job there. And I'm the gardener, and he was doing basically the lawn mowing and trimming some of the hedges and certain stuff out there, and I'd help him. Well, I think I only helped him this one time, and sure enough, he sexually harassed me. So then I reported it, and instead of firing him, like they should have done, they um, they told me to work around him, and then they told him he got to choose when they talked to him about it. They let him choose the day he wanted to work, one day a week, and then had me work around him. It's like, huh? So, anyways, we just avoided each other that way. Then the new curator came in, a male. The last curator was female, male. Thought there was going to be a problem because men excuse men's behavior. And men don't realize how bad this is because they're not on the receiving end, they're on the giving end. And all men have harassed women. The only ones I could say that don't are the gay ones and the asexual ones. And the gay ones harass other males. So, and I've known gay men to harass females too. Anyway, um, anyways, they don't want, if they admit that this person, that what this person is doing is wrong, then they have to look at self. It's like, I've done that. I've done wrong. What I did was immoral. What I did was very hurtful. What I did should have been a fireable offense. So they don't want to. They don't want to discipline because then they have to admit, hey, I'm just bad. So, anyways, sure enough, I thought something would change because he said something. He said something one time about if anything happens, let me know and we'll take steps. So okay, maybe if he does if my harasser does it again, they'll fire him. That's what I thought. Nope. Um, what happened was he didn't harass me, but they just let him work whenever he wanted to. They didn't make him stick to the Friday schedule. So I'd go there and he'd be there, mowing the lawn, doing whatever. So one day I went off on my harasser and I said, aren't you supposed to be working Friday? And I yelled it at him. And he says, well, I have some projects around here to do. It's like they didn't even tell me. They didn't even have the enough respect for me to tell me that he was going to be working around there on days that I was supposed to be. And so when am I supposed to get my work done? I'm weeding. And, doing all that stuff, trimming, whatever, pulling, whatever. When am I supposed to get my work done if you're not going to make them stick to a schedule? So, anyways, I received a phone call from them. They left a message on my answering machine. I only have the landline. And they said, And the new male curator said, I know you have an interaction, you had an interaction with Steve, and by the way, when he came, let me back up. When this happened, he says, I have some projects, now. I'm only going to be here a few more minutes, blah, blah, blah. He was there an extra like 15 minutes, whatever. And so then I just left and in a huff, took all my stuff because I'm like, I quit. Right then I decided I quit. Went home. On the way home, I was crying. I was very mad, very upset for a few days. And then I, the next day that the curator was in, um, he left a message on my answering machine saying, I heard you had to run into Steve. If you want to talk about it, I know it's probably traumatizing. Should be better communication skills. Like part of this, he worded it like part of this was my fault. I had no idea any of this was going on. I had no idea about projects going on. I knew there were projects constantly going on. I didn't know what the projects were. I'm the gardener. I don't work on the inside of the house. I come and go as I please to garden. And I don't know anything about what projects they have going on, schedule changes, nothing. And that's okay as long as it doesn't affect me. They didn't tell me anything. This was not at all on my, I had nothing to do with this schedule change. I was not informed. And they said, well, we have to have better communication skills. And, if you want to talk about it, come in. And I knew he was just brushing it off. He was just sweeping it under the rug. So I'm like, yeah, you've been a harasser yourself. So anyways, I never called back. I was too mad. A few days later, I think, no, I didn't go back in. I think I officially quit. I don't think I even tried to go back in after that. So, anyways, a few days later, he says Steve's done. He called again. Steve's done with his project. If you want to come into the museum, you want to garden, get some hours in, do some weeding. It's looking pretty bad out there. It's like, yeah, I couldn't get in there. That's what I'm saying. How am I supposed to do my work? But he I waited a few days to simmer down after that, and then I left a message, and I told them that what they did was disgusting, and I used the word disgusting. I said what they did was disgusting. It's not the sexual harassment, because I'm a woman. That's just my whole life is having to deal with sexual harassment, but they all handled it. It was just disgusting, and I quit. And so a couple people, women, told me, it's like, you let them win. It's like, no, I was letting them win by using me, letting them just brush aside any of my needs to make a comfortable workplace for me, and just went back to the patriarchal traditional system, and let this man, this older man, come and go as he please, do what he wants, make all the communication with him, none of the communication with me. I was letting him win by staying there and putting up with that. I was on the losing end. And so it's actually the opposite of me letting them win. I was letting them win by staying there. I won by quitting. I didn't subscribe to the patriarchy, the traditional patriarchy that's been set up in this world. I said, I'm not. I'm opting out of this. So I just want people to know um, that's what it was.